I want to share something with you guys out there that this was told to me by the rapper Kilo, or AKA Down, who sings Lean Like a Cholo.
Yeah, I know.
Okay, I had him here, and he said something that really blew me away. He said, I had Snoop Dogg on my album. He's talking about his first album. I paid him. I had Nate Dogg. I had Dog Pound. And so he has some big names that were on the Chronic album, okay?
Right.
And he said, and nobody even knows those songs. He said, the one that they know was the one that I took as a fucking joke. Was Lean Like a Cholo. He goes, that's the song. And I said, say that again, bro. And he goes, I thought that song was a fucking joke. He says, but that's the song that everybody knows. Nobody knows me for the other features. So when people have feature after feature after feature after feature, and then they say, I got 12 songs and I got 12 features, bro, that's a compilation, bro.
Yeah.
That's not even you pulling your own weight. Right. What did I tell you? If you can't do an album by yourself, you know what? You shouldn't be doing this, because you need to pull your own weight.
Right.
Okay. And I'm gonna show love to what credit is due. Also the Genesis. Okay. We have a 6-song EP. We were supposed to have at least 7, but we ended up going with 6. No features, just her, because she knew that if she can't pull her own weight, she shouldn't be doing this.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And that's my advice. Now, some people may say, well, Tony, that's an old way of thinking. That's cool. But I'll guarantee you'll remember her album next year and the year after and the year after.
Yeah.
You know, over somebody that's talking about twerking, fucking shooting dookie dust all over the screen, you know. So I'm not for all that shit, bro.
Yeah, no,
you know, for the flavor of the week.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so.
Of course.
But if it's going to be a feature, look, I'm going to say it this way. Say that we were working on your album.
Okay.
And then you said, Tone, I want to bring in somebody. If we're going to bring in Be Real, or if we're going to bring in A Sugar Free, that song right there better be a fucking hit, bro.
Yeah.
Because we're not wasting our money with him or with whoever.
Right.
You know, it's got to be a hit. We're just not going to say we're going to just throw it on the album.
Yeah.
You know, so, but what do you think about that? What do you think about features, that people that pay for big name features thinking that they're going to make it?
They're wasting their money. I mean, flat out, just straight to the point.
Yeah.
They're wasting their money, because at the end of the day, you're not supposed to worry about somebody trying to, you know, like trying to help you out to be this big old fucking artist when it comes to features, because it's just a feature. You know what I mean? Like, I've done to this day, I do my features basically for free. You know what I mean? Like, I don't really like get at people a certain way. Like, hey man, you gotta fucking do this and do that. You gotta hit me with a certain band or whatever. Man, I just tell them straight up, if you got some dope shit, if I feel like I can work with your shit, then fuck it, let's do it. You know what I mean? Like, I love doing this shit. You know what I mean? It's fucking fun to me. But when it comes to someone thinking like that, man, that's you're not thinking more about music at that point. You're thinking, as I said, you know, earlier, it's more about the image at that point now. You know, can you carry a couple cool points from them? You know?
Yeah, and that's one thing that, like, if you look at like Quick's album. And I'm going to say it this way, so let me explain it right. He didn't have no features. Second to None's first album, no features. AMG's album, no features. High C's album, no features. You know what they did? Because there were no features from them. We just all rapped on each other's records. There was nothing to feature because nobody was a star.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But every single one of those records went gold. Every single one of those. We just all rapped on our records. We didn't go out and get a big name. We didn't go out and get an Eazy-E at the time, or an Ice Cube, or whoever the case may be. We just all rapped on our records, and it worked. The chemistry was there.
That's what it is. You need more chemistry now.
More chemistry.
There's not. I wouldn't even say there's not. I want to say there hasn't been any chemistry since, I want to say, well, I listen to just old shit, so Bone Thugs. But if you really want to put it in the perspective of modern times, Migos, right? So I don't really see a lot of motherfuckers like being like, hey man, let's do a fucking group. Let's all believe in each other's dream. Let's all fucking pitch in all this ambition and passion, and then try to blow up. You know, I haven't seen that. You know what I mean? I've mainly seen people connect with their producers, their engineers, or people that own the studios, whatever the case might be. It really doesn't connect with the person you're supposed to be making the art with. You feel me? Like, it always leads back to like just you being on a solo tip, and if that makes sense. Right.
Well, I'm glad that you said that, and I'm going to tell you why. I seen an interview where Dre said something that was so powerful. He says, I can't get into a rapper using more than one producer for an album.
Yeah, you mentioned that to me before too.
Okay.
Yeah.
I always thought, like, if me and you have the chemistry, then let's build this record.
Yeah,
okay?
exactly.
DJ Muggs produced Cypress Hill's first album. That's the only one I'm going to talk about. Instant classic, because you don't have to skip.
Yeah.
DJ Quick produced Second to None's record. Instant classic. That's what, you know. Dr. Dre produced NWA, Eazy-E, the DOC. One producer, okay? Name me an album, and maybe you can help me out with this, Alex. Name me an album that has more than 6 producers.
Oh, 6 producers.
Yeah, and it's a classic or it's a hit.
I don't know about that one. I can't.
Because today people are saying, "Oh, I got this producer, I got this guy. This guy dropped me a beat. I got a guy from Europe that emailed me a beat. I got a guy from Brazil that sent me a funk beat. And there's no chemistry."
That's the thing. Like the second they say, "Oh, they sent it to me,"
they sent it to me.
That's the end of that conversation. You know what I mean? Like that it is right there, bro. Because why are they sending it to you? You know what I mean? Like, man, you should be right there making it. You know what I mean?
You should be right there making it.
Yeah.
You should be right there cooking with them.
Yeah, exactly, man, exactly. Ain't no fucking fast food shit. You know what I mean?
Right. Okay, you know, there's some. Okay, somebody said something. Somebody asked me a question, and again, I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it. Okay, somebody put Illmatic. How many producers were on the Illmatic? Okay, so go ahead and put them out there, bro. That's the Nas album. Okay.
Yeah.
So my thing was this. Somebody sent me a reel that said that, with all due respect to Lefty Gunplay, I never met the guy. Like, we never formally shook hands. We were backstage. Me and High C, we did a show called Kings of the West with E40, Too Short, Snoop, you know, and a bunch of other people.
I think you posted a clip of
Yeah, and he just happened to be in the background.
Right.
In backstage.
Right.
And he said something. I go, "What's up, Lefty?" And he goes, "Hey, what's up, man? We're going to the top. No more Chicano rap." That's what he said. I was shocked that he said that, okay? And I actually have that on film, and it's for my members, anybody who wants to watch it. But here's what he said. He said, no more Chicano rap. So I know his mentality. Maybe he just looks at himself as an artist, not necessarily as a Chicano rapper.
Right.
But now, Kendrick was performing, I guess, at SoFi recently.
Oh, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Okay, and then he was trying to get up on stage or whatever.
Yeah.
First and foremost, with all due respect, is that if you weren't invited, don't try to get up on stage.
Yeah.
You know, if DJ Quick doesn't invite me, I'm not going to get a VIP pass to go backstage and try to get up on stage as if I was invited. I wouldn't do that.
So it's kind of like similar as to saying, you know, why shake someone's hand if they're not putting their hand out first?
There it is there.
Okay. It's the similar, it's the same fucking thing.
Right. Okay, so this video showed that he was trying to get up on stage, and then and that's not what I'm trying to focus in on here. What I'm sharing is that somebody said that Kendrick Lamar used Raza for views and to sell records. Look it. With all due respect, bro, there was only 4 words on that song. If he would have just took that off and even took Peso's verse off, that album would have did the same thing.
Yeah.
So I cannot sit here and say that he used Raza, because all throughout rap history, they've never had to use us to sell records. We just like their music.
Yeah.
What I say is that if you're talented, release good music, bro.
Yeah.
And everybody would buy it.
Yeah, definitely.
You know how many of my black friends told me I loved La Raza from Frost? They all knew Cubo, Aquí estoy, MC Kid Frost. All of them knew that.
Yeah, hell yeah.
They all knew, check this out, baby. They've even told me I learned Spanish because of that song. You know? Or we were chilling in the park.
Yeah.
Release good music.
Yeah, no doubt.
And it'll sell.
Yeah, hell yeah.